New figures show an explosion in the number of prisoners choosing to be segregated versus being placed in the general prison population. This is according to News Talk ZB this morning. The number of prisoners requesting segregation has jumped 66% since 2019. Floyd Plessis is president of the Corrections Association. Plessis, I should say, joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning, Ryan.
So we've seen, yes, quite a marked increase over the last 4 years, and they say it's because it's more dangerous. Can you give us a sense of what it's like inside a prison at the moment, how dangerous it is, how violent it is?
So the conditions staff are currently facing the prisons is extreme. We've, over the last few months, seen murders within the prisons against prisoners. Staff are facing ongoing violence. There's regular weekly occurrences of staff being injured as a result of attacks, and that's something that needs to stop.
Right, so how do you do that if you've got prisoners who are, and there's some 12,000 of them now requesting to be segregated from the rest of the population, meaning that they don't feel safe, it's either gang retribution or some sort of violence against them. Does that mean that it takes you more staff to look after segregated prisoners than it would if everyone was together?
Absolutely. So the overall violent situation does require a lot more staff. It's something that we are seeing. Unfortunately, we're not getting that uplift in staff that we needed. We need a big increase in staff to be able to manage this better. We also need to see some change in legislation. We need to see loss of remission. We need to see actual consequence, because unfortunately, while we're seeing an increase in consequence out in the public, within the prisons they're captured. And so what we need to see is for even some of these lower level violent offending that's happening within the prison, we need to see consequence and loss of time out.
Can you give us an example of when you don't think people have been properly punished?
Yeah, so there's quite a bit of low-level violence that happens, whether it's just a shove or just a single punch. And unfortunately, what tends to happen is police don't see that in the public interest, so it's not worth them pursuing. So for a lot of those punishments, what we do is we deal with them internally within the prisons, and the punishment is them getting locked down in their cell for a few days. But if there was an actual sentence that came to it, and there was a system that was able to do that quicker, like we see in other jurisdictions, you'd be able to see some immediate real consequence to someone, and that's something we need to look at further.
Ah, okay. So more, you mean add to their sentence, actually give them a longer custodial sentence?
Absolutely.